To today's webinar on how to apply to Marylhurst. So speaking today, we have Donna Davis with us. She's from the Office of Admissions and is able to answer any of your questions that you may have. And my name is Simona Beatty. I'm a Marylhurst staff member here and your webinar moderator. So we're going to go over a few key things in this webinar, things to consider before applying. We also want to cover scholarships, especially the new scholarship we just announced for our transfer students. And then we're going to go ahead and launch the online application portal and give you an inside look at the application and what to expect there. And then we'll also follow up with some key dates to think about and next steps, especially if you're considering applying for fall term, kind of things that you should know and what to expect there. So one thing to note is go ahead and save your questions until the end. We'll give you plenty of time to ask your questions, but we kind of have a brief presentation to get through first that will give you a lot of information. And then also, don't worry about writing down notes. This webinar is being recorded, so you're going to get this message and the video recording about 24 hours after we're done with this session. So just relax and enjoy, and then save your questions for the ending. So we're going to get started. So things to consider before you submit your application. So one of the biggest things that we try to get prospective students to do is to make sure to connect with an admissions counselor. We know there's a lot of information that you can read about on our website, and you can just sort of explore at your own pace and kind of look at degree information, tuition, and all that sort of stuff. But there's really a valuable part to connecting with an admissions counselor. So I have Donna here, and she's going to talk about what value do they get with connecting with admissions counselor, and what does that look like?
Thanks, Simona. Hi, everybody. Well, you know, just yesterday I met with a student who is just applying to Marylhurst, and he indicated that in all of his experiences at other schools, working with advisors and folks helping him along the way, he really never had a chance to sit down and have a two-way conversation where the admissions counselor, in this case it was me, really listened to the things he was saying and the directions he was considering. And he really needs to finish his degree, and he needed someone to listen and then mirror back kind of what was being said, what I heard him saying. And we ended up looking at some options that he would have never considered had we not had that kind of a conversation. So that's one of the benefits of many that I think people at Marylhurst experience in meeting with an admissions counselor. They're not always that in-depth, but usually we're here to help students finish a degree. Most students who are transferring to Marylhurst are trying to finish a degree and go on to either an advanced degree or go on to a job or move on with their career or something. So the decision is really important. And looking at transfer credits, Marylhurst is known to accept more transfer credits than just about any school. So we find a way to do that for you and with you. We also, as you can see on the little list, that credit for prior learning, we have for 40 years taught and offered a process whereby you can either test or write for credits that will apply towards your account based on learning that came outside of an academic setting. So we're really happy to help you work through that process and see if that's something that would work for you. And oftentimes it is. So does that kind of give an idea, Simona?
Absolutely. And one of the things that I think is so valuable of our admissions team is the whole conversation around career goals. What do they want? Why are they coming here to finish their bachelor's degree? What's their ultimate outcome that they want to achieve? And I think one of the classic moments is, you know, when you have that conversation to, at the end of it, say, you know what, maybe Marylhurst isn't a fit. And we're able to say that and direct you in the right, you know, sort of the right area to go. But that is sort of the value of having that connection with an admissions counselor, because they can look at your entire, you know, your outcomes, your career goals in a holistic manner and see, are we really the right fit for you? So, and I added the contact information in case you wanted to go ahead and start connecting with our admissions office. These are our general numbers, and essentially they will get you in touch with the right person based on what degree program you're interested in. So let's talk about scholarships and financial aid, because financing your education is a significant question to ask before you consider applying. So just this week, we actually announced a new scholarship opportunity here at Marylhurst, It's this transfer scholarship, and at this point you can receive up to $3,000 a year. The other two scholarships, again, these are all merit-based, with the exception of Opportunity Plus, which is kind of a combination of merit-based and need-based. But the qualifications are pretty straightforward, and this is another great thing to have a conversation with the admissions counselors, because these aren't all of our scholarships. These are just the ones that we're highlighting right now, but when you have that conversation with the admissions counselor, there's maybe other opportunities that they might point out to you depending on what you're interested in and your background that you might qualify for. So Donna, do you want to talk about the Phi Theta Kappa one a little bit, about the qualifications there and how to access it, and maybe the transfer scholarship too?
Yeah, sure. These are all really exciting ones. The Phi Theta Kappa scholarship is for students who are already a member of Phi Theta Kappa at your community college. So you can become a member of the Honor Society there, and we just need some, level of proof that you are a member, basically, and sometimes it says it right on your transcript. And that's what we look for. And that can apply toward your financial aid package, $2,000 a quarter, fall, winter, spring. It starts with the fall term. If you should start in the winter, then it would be still prorated basically on that $2,000 per quarter. So that is a really, really great opportunity for those who have a 3.5 or above and are in the Honor Society. The Opportunity Plus scholarship I'll mention is something that has opened up to any community college AAOT, a transfer degree, and if you have a 3.3 GPA cumulative, and that does take into account when they say cumulative, other schools you've attended to, but still, it's really a great thing. So then that can be set out $900 a quarter. That can be in addition to Phi Theta Kappa. And then the newest one, as Simona said, the transfer scholarship, is $1,000 per quarter or $3,000 a year if you have a 3.0 coming with minimum 30 transferable quarter credits from a community college. So come on, I mean, that's pretty great.
We're really trying to make essentially an education accessible, and we really take the worry about which one should you be applying for, because what I'm going to do is put on the next screen, how do you apply for aid? So the biggest step here is make sure you submit your FAFSA, and it's not too late to apply for federal financial aid. The next part is apply for admissions. So when you apply here, essentially you are automatically considered for these scholarships, like Phi Theta Kappa and transfer. Now there are a few unique scholarships that are at the degree level. For example, English has one as a Binford scholarship, and then the military scholarship for our veterans and military personnel. Those have a separate application that go with it. But what the admissions counselors can do is they can identify these opportunities for you and make sure to point them out. But the point is, most of our general scholarships you are automatically considered for. So your admissions application essentially counts for that. Is that correct, Donna?
Yeah, it goes kind of hand in hand. If Tracy, our Director of Financial Aid, she'd pipe in right now and say, you must apply for admissions, you must get through the admissions process, and at the same time, get that FAFSA process done. There's a couple of additional little forms. It's easy to do, really, it's easy to do. And then you can be considered not only for those three that we mentioned, but we do have a whole myriad of different donors and different sources of scholarship that can be applied depending on all kinds of different characteristics. Those three are probably the most general applied. So yeah, it's just your application for admission and the FAFSA starts everything.
So I know this is something you were waiting for, so let's take a look inside the online application. So I'm going to get out of this PowerPoint and I'm going to pull up our university website. So this is how you access the online application once you're ready to apply. So super simple. You can either go to apply now on any page, or you can go in the main navigation bar and go to apply online. As soon as that comes up. So you have really three options, but really one is the one that we want to direct you to. So if you're not sure, if this is your first time here, you've never applied at Marylhurst, this is where you want to go. If you're not quite sure, just go to first time here.
Yes.
That's probably the best way to do that. When you get there, you're going to be asked to create an account with us. So this is just to make sure you have a way to log into the online application. Very simple name, academic division, which for most of you would be undergraduate if you're applying as an undergraduate, and then your program of interest, and then submit. What's going to happen then is you're going to get emailed login information to how to access the actual online application. So once you have that, just follow directions in the email. And what you're going to be able to access is essentially the online application.
There you are.
So once you log in, this is what you're going to see. And I went ahead and populated some of the areas so we can kind of get through this a little faster. Just know anything with the red bar next to it is required. So you will need to fill that out in order to proceed forward. So all of this is fake information. Do not copy me. So just know this is a test login. But here's some key questions to note. Academic program, so have you ever previously been a student here? If you say yes, they'll take you through a process, but most of you most likely say no. This is your first time applying. Then you want to pick the degree program that you are interested in applying for. So undergraduate, let's pick, what's a good one, Donna?
Oh, let's pick the English one.
English Literature and Writing. So it'll think about it, and then it'll ask you some, if you want to pick concentration, we're going to go ahead and pick literature just for the fun. Enrollment status, well, let's go for part-time. And then intended start term, let's go with fall 2016. So that's when you decide to start. And the next big step is save and continue.
Yeah.
Which will take you into the application. Now note that once you start this process, if you happen to log out or you need to just come back, all of your information will be saved as long as you press that save and continue button. So in the online application, there's really a couple of key sections. Academic history, really we're just looking for where have you attended, correct?
The schools you've attended previously, and you don't click on the box, you actually click on the bar itself. So, yep, right there. And then that'll open up a screen for you to fill in the other schools you've attended.
Mm-hmm. And you can keep adding another school. Now here's an important part of this online application is once you are ready, you want to make sure to click this button right here that I have completed this section and save and continue.
Right.
And that'll make that in the online application, in the checklist, which we'll show you in a minute, will tell you you have completed that section. So that's a really key thing. Otherwise, you can continue to navigate through these and just check out what's there, but it won't be officially sort of recorded or submitted, I guess, until you click this, I have completed this section.
On each screen. Yeah,
on each screen.
That's right.
And then employment information, pretty straightforward. You're essentially putting in your employment history. Let's see, additional information. We'll just show you all of these. These are just really demographic data that we're looking for, just so we know when we're processing your application how to move you forward. Correct?
Yeah.
And then essays.
You can actually upload your one-page little essay statement of intent here, or you can email it directly to your counselor in admissions, either way. But this is set up to just upload it and submit it right there.
Perfect. So yeah, if you hit browse, it'll open up your computer and essentially find the file that you want to upload. That's your statement of intent, and there you go. And then again, don't forget to click this little button to let me know that you are done with this section. And then the final step, of course, is submit your application. Let me get that up. So you would do your application fee payment, and you can do that through, I bet, credit card? How do you?
Yes, credit card. Now, I think we're,
so
for those of you who have been attending,
so anybody that registered for this webinar, you will get your application fee waived if you apply for fall term 2016. So just note that after this webinar, we have everybody that RSVP'd, it'll get sent to Donna. She'll make sure that you are, then if you decide to apply right then and there, you don't have to pay the $50 application fee. So that's a bonus of participating in this webinar. So in a nutshell, I mean, this is essentially what you're going to be seeing when you're inside the application. Now, if you click on the home page, this is just a place to keep track of things. There's a checklist on here that lives here that tells you where sections you've completed. But really, this is kind of gives you more details. It also tells you who your admissions counselor is. So if you're going through the application and you kind of hit a snag or you need more questions, you can always reach out to your admissions counselor and they will help you with that. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole online application in a nutshell. let's get back into the PowerPoint because we have a few more things to cover from here. So, big thing, it is not too late to apply it to Marylhurst for fall term. So if you're on the border of deciding whether or not to apply and you think it's too late, it is definitely not too late. At this point, we can successfully get you started even if you apply up to 2 weeks prior to the start of the term. And Donna says even sooner than that? Or
no, I think, you know, obviously you want to be talking to us or starting the activity in one way or another if you're thinking about fall, because September 26th is the first day of the fall term. But we work in real close timelines, so you know, whenever the time is right, we'll help you get started. And with financial aid too, we can do a quick turnaround as long as you get the FAFSA going. The other forms are very easy to take care of, so we can help you do it.
In case you miss fall term, though, doesn't mean that there aren't other opportunities to start. So we do accept students for winter, spring, and summer term. Here's some general guidelines around when to submit your application for that. But again, the sooner the better, because the sooner we know that you're coming here, the more we can customize the service to you and make sure you have a smooth start to your term. So what happens after you submit your application? So once Donna knows an application's been submitted, what's sort of the process to now communicate with the student?
Well, usually once we see an application started, in whatever capacity that is, we'll reach out to you, either phone call and or email. We need to be having a dialogue, and ideally we need to get a statement of intent. We need to have you order your transcripts. You can go on any school website and just type in the search box, for that matter, transcript request form, and that's the easiest, quickest way. Many schools will do an electronic transcript and send it to us that way, and we get it really, really fast. More schools are doing that than ever. Mm-hmm. So ideally, we want to get your application completed, help you get your FAFSA and financial aid in the works, but also we want to talk to you. If you just go directly from this webinar and start an application and you haven't had any conversation with an admissions person, we want to make clear how important that is. Not that we want to tell you what to do, but we want to help you make all the right decisions and help you see the timelines. And it all gets kind of crazy when you're trying to do it all right. On your own. So.
And then once they do submit all the documents, usually within 72 hours, you can make a decision whether or not they're admitted.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that was pretty much our entire, inside look at the application process. As we said, it is a pretty easy process to go through. There are some elements to think about, but I think the big takeaway is, connect with us, because we're really here to help you make sure you have a smooth application process and be able to provide you kind of that level of service. So if you do have questions for us, what I would say is on the left-hand side, if that's where you have a GoToWebinar pulled up, you can type in your questions inside the question box. So we will see if any questions are submitted. So we're just waiting for some questions. In the meantime, though, around the application process, so Donna, tell me about the free transfer credit evaluation. What's involved with that?
Well, we have students email, send, fax, whatever form, send us your transcripts, just unofficial copies from any or all schools you've attended. And I have one actually waiting for me to do on my desk right now as soon as we're done. We'll lay it out according to a Marylhurst degree plan and show you what transfers where and how it might serve you the best. And if we see that there might be opportunities even more than what you're looking at, we can let you know that too. But we're happy to do it. So we just need unofficial copies from any school you've attended, and we'll prepare an unofficial evaluation. And so that is going to help you kind of identify how long it's going to take you to finish, and also how much it may cost.
Okay. So I'm not seeing any questions. So I think the inside look gave them plenty opportunity to kind of get the information that everyone needed. So what I'm going to do to kind of finish off this webinar is to put up a screen of all sort of additional resources that would be helpful to you to kind of look through. And again, Office of Admissions, I will also email this out about 24 hours after the session that has this contact information so you can reach the admissions office as well as the video for this webinar. But things to check out, all admissions information, including admissions requirements, are on our website. Online application again, transfer credit information if you're interested in that, scheduling the transfer evaluation, all that direction is on the website. And then credit for prior learning, if you've never heard of it and you're kind of curious about what that is, go ahead and check that out or contact admissions and they will walk you through whether or not credit for prior learning is a good fit for you. So I'm not seeing any further questions, so we're going to go ahead and essentially finish off this webinar. And again, if you watch the webinar or RSVP'd for it, your application fee to apply at Marylhurst is going to be waived. So that's a benefit to you. So thank you everyone, and we hope to see you here in the fall term.